Okay, thanks everyone. I guess we'll kick off in a few minutes. I know people are coming in and out of the room. A bit of a change of commodity here, so you've been hearing some gold stories. We are a zinc mining company. We're actually one of the largest zinc mining companies on the planet. We're number 8 globally. Really grown pretty fast in the last 5 years. We'll take a quick look through at what we're doing at the moment, our exposure to zinc, and where we're going. Okay, standard cautionary language. There will be forward-looking statements, certainly based on our track record, and we have a very strong conviction we can stand behind them. Macro zinc, there's probably been a few macro talks here. Really, it's the graph tells it all. We're hitting deep deficits of zinc globally, and we're currently hitting at about 8 days global supply. Not too surprisingly, the price has responded accordingly. Currently sitting about 150, 155 per pound of zinc. And you can see, certainly the last time zinc ran, it hit $2.08. That was back in 07, 08. And you can see Wood Mackenzie, some of these various forecasting ones are anticipating certainly higher zinc prices from where we are now. I mean, you're never going to get the number exactly right. And what is interesting is as well, you're not seeing massive supply. So certainly the general thesis out there is this rally could be quite broad in terms before ultimately, obviously, you will get more mines coming on and you'll get the market probably in better balance going forward. So where does Trevali sit within this? And we've got 4 operating mines. We took the decision, we've been building them, finding them, discovering them over the last, almost 10 years now. But really the whole thesis was, listen, unless you're in production when zinc runs, it was going to be academic. About 85% of our revenue is zinc-based, so massive torque to the commodity, and we're in production now. Really, we are global at this point in time. Our first mine was in Peru, Santander, in New Brunswick, the Caribou mine, and recently acquired 2 mines in Africa off our partner Glencore. Perkoa, one of the world's largest or highest grade, zinc mines, and the Rosh Pinah mine in Namibia. Really, certainly, even with Trevali, we've got a decade of exploration success. Clearly, we've moved from obviously building the mines into more resource growth at the moment. We will have updated 43-101s out in late Q1. And also, probably more exciting is getting a lot more aggressive with the drill rigs. So we are kicking off a 60,000 meter exploration program. And obviously, contingent on success, those rigs won't stop. And we'll have a look at some of those successes we got in the last year. Obviously, with zinc running, we're in a very strong financial position. A lot of detail there. I mean, the key takeaway is between measured and indicated, we've got over 6 billion pounds of zinc. Obviously, pretty significant lead and silver byproduct as well. So, as we convert them as we go, certainly reasonably long lives of mines, certainly to encompass this entire cycle. This year's production, we just gave guidance, about 430 million pounds roughly of zinc, a little bit of lead, silver. You can see our cash costs per pound there, about 70 cents. Our all-in bottom line cash costs are about 85 cents. So certainly, zinc sitting at 150, 155, trading between that, certainly very good margins. We'll take a look at the mines now in a moment, and we'll go through them on a production basis. So roughly half our production is from Africa, the other half is from the Americas, broadly speaking. So jumping to Perkoa, this is one of our recent acquisitions from our partner Glencore. You can see the head grades there, it's 15% zinc. So certainly kicks out a lot of payable zinc metal, very high recoveries, 92 to 94%. What we like it as well is the deposit type. It's a VMS. They typically occur in clusters, and there's never been any previous exploration in the belt. So certainly, for an exploration prospectivity, it's definitely underexplored, and we've just staked a very large land package. And you can see some of the slides there. So it remains open at depth, and hopefully some of that, will be captured in this year's 43-101 update. And we currently continue to chase the deposit. It hasn't been fully drilled off at depth, so it remains open. And also the regional exploration. And we do get a geophysical response from the deposit, and we're getting similar clusters of geophysical anomalies every 4 or 5 kilometers. And typically you only ever see that in productive VMS belts. So, pretty exciting times. And like I said, there's never been a dedicated exploration team exploring this ground until the last 4 months when we've kind of rebuilt our exploration teams. So that's what we're up to in Burkina. Caribou, a bit closer to home. We're in northern New Brunswick. Certainly commercial production started in 2016, we declared it. Kicks out roughly 90 million pounds payable zinc. The deposit does remain open, and good infrastructure there. You can see the mine buildings and the location to the town of Bathurst. Exploration-wise, we had a reasonable good discovery this year. You can see that kind of 2017 discovery zone. Again, we're updating the resource estimates. We'll capture the exact tonnage on that. And clearly the deposit remains open. So you can see where we're going with exploration next year. We'll continue to chase the other side of the deposit. So far in its history, if one limb has done one thing, the other limb pretty much mimics it. So we would expect to get some hits there. We'll wait and see. And we've also got a new zone, which will follow up probably in 2019. So you can see the underground workings there. So a nice steep deposit. So certainly the mining guys like it. Moving to Namibia. This is our Rosh Pinah mine. Again, we only acquired it in late August. Kicks off roughly similar to our New Brunswick mine, about 100 million pounds zinc, plus or minus. A little bit less lead and silver, but it is a very large deposit. Certainly between what was mined historically and what's remaining, it was 45 million tons at about 8 to 10% zinc. So it is a tier 1 asset, and again, never fully delineated. So I think you'll see some of these areas where we've identified some upside potential, and we're going to be following them from underground. Contingent on success, it may hopefully lead, if it makes sense financially and technically, into expansion decisions at the mine level. But obviously we need to drill the holes first. But certainly in the northwest area, where the guys highlighted a potential target of about 5 million tons, we are getting good hits. So we're going straight from these conceptual targets straight into indicated. So certainly the mine, the geology is holding together, at least in that part of the mine, in what we're calling the northwest extension. And finally, our first mine, Santander, our smallest, accounts for about 15% of our production. In Peru, kicks out about 60 million pounds, 55, 60 million pounds of zinc, some nice lead, silver byproduct credits. We are in the central mineral belt of Peru, quite a very pretty site. We're about 4,200 meters. What we like about this one is it's never been fully explored. We continue to chase the magistrals, the active mining zones. So you can see in the upper left there, we continue to chase them deeper. We've got 2 underground diamond drill rigs at the moment. And we previously, just last year as well, started exploring below the old historic mine, which we inherited. And that mined about 8 million tons at 10% zinc, so relatively high grade compared to the rest of the deposit. And certainly we've got about 6 or 7 holes into it now, and they mimic those grades. So you're getting kind of anywhere from kind of 3, 4, 5 meters to kind of 40-meter thicknesses, running about anywhere from 6 to 10% zinc. So certainly the old Santander pipe or target remains open for expansion. On the bottom left as well, you can see, probably a little bit small for those at the back, you can see that the color-coded, so the red is higher zinc grades. So certainly even on the magistrals, as we're getting deeper, the system's getting bigger. Instead of one mineralized horizon, we're getting multiple stacked mineralized horizons. And the grades are starting to pick up as well. So the nice thing about that is, obviously, you start mining deeper, it's more costly to truck things, but we will get a bit of an offset with our zinc grades, so we'll be actually delivering more payable units to the mill just by natural increase in the head grades as the mining front extends. Capital structure, we're listed in TSX, also in Lima. Pretty high volume trader, commonly in the kind of top 20 TSX trading, quite liquid. You'll see a lot of the big names, very strong working relationship with Glencore, world's largest zinc miner and zinc trader. They own 25% of us. So we do get a lot of access to their technical teams, technical service. So certainly, we're a kind of small cap company with aspirations to become a mid-tier, but we can certainly punch way above our weight, and that gives us a global reach as well. You'll see some of the other funds as well, reasonably well covered by the street. Everyone's a buy on us. Anticipate probably getting a few more names covering us as well as we go forward. Very strong balance sheet, clearly. Zinc is hitting 10-year highs. So we ended Q3, our Q4 financials aren't out yet. We're roughly 105 million US. Clearly, certainly zinc prices in Q4 are stronger than Q3. So, we'd anticipate continuing that trend while zinc is running. Low debt to EBITDA ratio. Certainly we retired some very high expensive debt last year, roughly $50 million at 12.5% when we were a smaller company. We do have $160 million debt as well, but it is quite favorable rates, about 3 to 4% LIBOR. And we have a $30 million revolver, which is fully undrawn. Who we are, I won't go into it, but certainly we are base metal specialists, mainly zinc specialists. I started my career many years ago with Pasminco, now Nearstar. Most of us are ex-Anglo-American stable, so certainly we've been fortunate to find some of these big mines, and obviously very close working relationship with Glencore. The head of global zinc operations sits on our board, so it gives us certainly a lot of good intel on what they're thinking on zinc. So pretty much on time. I would encourage you, there's a lot there, I do understand that, thank you, but pop by booth 617 and I'm happy to go through it in more detail. Cheers.